Hello, you erotic wood carvings of Peter Capaldi. Jim Sterling here, and this is Horizon Zero Dawn. For real this time. Uploaded a video before this, looking at a physics glitch about a corpse, one of the robotic corpses, was just flipping out, doing all sorts of weird Silent Hill shit. And I felt a little bit bad about putting that one up first, because this game has quite a few people gunning for it, for various stupid reasons. You know, just the usual console war stuff, all the politics stuff, because, oh, there's a WOMs in the game and all that kind of stuff. And the problem with that is, videos like what I put up are typically used to prove the game is bad. In fact, there was a comment that was like, oh, this game is shit, because of the one glitch. It's like, oh, what a surprise, this game is shit. And I'm like, actually, no, the game is fantastic. I love this. I love the shit out of this game. It just happened to have a really funny physics glitch. And if glitches were the only thing that made a game bad, then, you know, Red Dead would be red shit. But it's not. People love that game. In part, sometimes because of the glitches. And I will say that at this game, every time I've encountered some sort of physics glitch, they have been of the amusing variety. But enough about glitches. That's no way to start proceedings, because I'm going to stab this metal cow. No, I'm not. I'm going to brainwash this metal cow. You can do that as well. I hacked the metal cow so I can ride the metal cow. And you can do that with a variety of metal animals. Not enough metal animals, if I'm being honest. You can ride a couple of different animals. This is me testing out. I think this is the very first time I tried riding a broadhead, which is the name of that particular animal there. We've got different names. Broadheads, striders, grazers, long legs. They've kind of, they've all got, like, there's hints that, you know, they all at one point possibly had actual names, like marketed names, or fight, like, serial numbers and stuff, but of course, with humanity having kind of eked out a new existence for itself, they've kind of applied simplistic names to things. So you see a big T-Rex looking robot, they call it a Thunderjaw, because, you know, it's like how American people call bolognese meat sauce. Just kind of renders it down to its basic component. This was the most fortuitous placement of robots I've ever seen in the game. They were all in the long grass, and if you're in long grass, you're all stealthed up. And I'd unlocked the skill that let me do critical hits on unaware enemies, which, to broadheads here, is a one-hit kill. So I basically just annihilated the herd there. Which I realise makes the game look really easy, but it's not always that easy. That was just very fortuitous, and funnily enough, and I'd stopped recording at this point. Oh, this is PS4, by the way, for those who, you know, get angry that I don't mention that sometimes. This is PS4, but I'd stopped recording immediately after this whole bit where I was feeling really good about myself. Like, oh, look at me, badass Solid Snake, but in grass. I died straight away. Here are some humans. This is a story mission, although not much story is being given away here, so don't worry about spoilers too much. Just taking over this camp of enemy, I think they're cultists. Yeah, these are the cultists. They serve as antagonists for the game, for a lot of the main story content. And we're kind of infiltrating a camp.
See that covered shelter?
Do you see those corruptors?
Aloy, apart from her name, which people have made fun of IGN for using that as a negative point. Her name is a bit cringy, Aloy. But she is a really good protagonist. I like her.
A breach for the Nora to charge through. Can't hit it from here.
Fairly serious. I'm just talk over this. It's subtitled. You can read it if you want, or play it if you really care. But I like her. She is, you know, Disney's Brave, but in a Monster Hunter / Witcher / BioWare / Far Cry world. I compared this game in my review, and I do recommend you read my review on the Jimpressions.com. I compared this game to Singularity, Not sure how many of you are aware of that one. It was an Activision-published first-person shooter released last generation. And basically what it did, it was a first-person shooter. And what it did was, it borrowed liberally, shamelessly, from every other first-person shooter, all the good ones. It had a portal gun from Half-Life, it had time travel in it, it had some Bioshock elements, it took all these ideas from other FPSs and did them really, really well and mashed them together to create this kind of, almost like a greatest hits collection of features. And that's what this game does. And this is me speaking as someone who's typically very bored of open world games. If you watched the Jimpressions, you'd have seen me have a right go at big empty sandboxes, as I call them. But this, as I say, it takes the best elements of a genre that I'm so weary of, and just does it so well and condenses it and puts it in a map that's just packed with shit to do. And there's some filler stuff in there, definitely. But there's also just really detailed side quests and stuff. I mean, hell, this is a game that I actually gave somewhat of a shit about finding the collectibles for. And it's not like there's hundreds and hundreds of them either, which is nice. But, you know, all the generic collectathon shit, like, you know, there are the metal flowers dotted around the map and all this kind of stuff. I didn't actually mind looking for them. I found all the ancient vessels. I've still got a couple of flowers to get. The rewards for them aren't even that good, but I'm doing it. I'll tell you this much as well. I actually got the collector's edition for this one. Sony sent me the version you're looking at now. Oh fuck, I got to do that, don't I? Sony, and actually bless them for this. I've made fun of them for it in a light-hearted way, because it is actually good what they do. But full disclosure, this is a review copy. I got it ahead of time for review. I've had it, I think, a couple of weeks now. Obviously, I needed a copy before. If I was to review it a week ago, like I did, clearly I got it not from a shop. But Sony does want to make sure that people disclose that kind of stuff, which is very good. Kind of the opposite of what Warner Brothers, at least Warner Brothers is one PR company they were using in that one instance, kind of did with the Shadow of Mordor stuff, where they were not making sure that people disclosed stuff. So anyway, yes, Sony sent me this copy. Also, I played this in 4K on a PS4 Pro. Obviously, PS4's share feature isn't that great, so you're not seeing it in 4K, but it does look really, really nice in 4K. Really pretty. Very colourful is the game. Lots of rich reds, lots of rich greens. Two colours that YouTube hates. So this is probably not going to look even as good as it does to me right now, which again doesn't look as good as it looks when I'm playing it on the TV. But yes, collector's editions I have an odd relationship with, because I do like them. I've said before, you know, I'm a consumer worm. I like shit and tat. And some collector's editions I think are just pointless. And especially for new IP, I find them arrogant. But I already did get the game for review, was playing it, really, really liked it. And liked it enough to think, fuck it, I will treat myself to, you know, a silly little statue or whatever else is in the box. And, you know, I consider that a testament to just how much I like this game. Is me putting my money where my mouth is there. This is, what are they called? Bellowback? I think these are called bellowbacks, these particular machines. They're all kind of based on animals. This one, I'm not too sure of the exact animal. Some sort of frog dragon, or a salamander, maybe. A lot of them are a lot more recognisable. You know, we saw the bull. There are horse ones, T-Rex ones, birds. The Watchers, they're the bipedal ones, sort of with the serpentine necks. I think they're just sort of lizardy ones, although I'm not sure exactly what the Watchers are supposed to resemble. So as you can see, sometimes you know, not enough tall grass in the world is going to help you out, and you go up against some direct confrontations, which will require some, you know, quick thinking, maybe some planning, if you want to put down traps. It's not just arrows. As you can see here, I've got a kind of more of a rapid fire weapon here, the name of which I've forgotten now. What the hell was that one called? I don't know. But we've got a trip caster. I don't know if I used that in this fight now, I've forgotten. But that's basically trip wires, and you can set those with various elemental traps. This current setup of weapons I don't have now. I actually have 3 different bows for 3 different things. One for sniping, one for general combat, one to put status ailments, like elemental effects, on enemies. And then I use the rope caster, which is a lovely little weapon. Does no real direct damage, but it'll attach to machines and I think people. It'll attach to enemies, basically, and pin them down and they can't move or fight, which is really fucking useful. If you attack that enemy, then the ropes will break, so it's not like you can just render someone completely vulnerable. But it's a great little way to keep something out the fight while you deal with something else. I overlooked the rope caster because it wasn't doing, you know, it wasn't a direct damage weapon. And I was, you know, sometimes all I care about is the DPS, but no, really, really useful. Highly recommended, the rope caster. As is the game. Recommended. That's Horizon Zero Dawn. I keep forgetting the name of it because it's a silly name.
I'd like to get married, but to be honest, it feels like no one will have me. There, I said it.
Yeah, I just added that bit in because it made me laugh. Just a complete stranger. It's not on, is it? You don't say that to people.